Thank you to Simthic, accessible via sim.gg for the weapon stats used in making this video. Link in the description. Hello, this is yet another entry into a series I've been calling Final Meta, an exploration into the infantry weapons in Battlefield 5 following its final content release. This video covers the Lee Enfield No.4 Mk1, Ross Rifle Mark III, Gewehr M95 30, and Type 99 Arisaka, the aggressive bolt-action rifles in Battlefield 5. These are the bolt-action rifles that generally function better when you are playing more aggressively, whether it be that you are behind enemy lines or acting directly as a supporting marksman for a squad taking a point. For the Enfield, I suggest the Pathfinder combat role whenever there is a spawn beacon available that offers superior flanking opportunities, as iron sight bolt-action combat lends itself to flanking. For any other circumstances when using the Enfield, or any situation at all with the other rifles featured in this video, I suggest the Sniper combat role, as bolt-action times to kill is very slow with body shots, and marking your targets can strongly improve your ability to track your target as well as provide your team with useful information for flanking. My sight suggestion for the Enfield are the iron sights, for the simple reason that it has the fastest rate of fire for bolt actions, but its reloads and firing rate are notably slowed by the introduction of scopes, and in particular, the slower bullet velocity of the Enfield make longer ranged sniping more difficult than average. If you find that you need a scope, I generally think you should consider using a different rifle entirely. A note, the aperture sight doesn't interfere with the reloads like the scopes and offers a 2x zoom, but is painful to use due to significant visual obfuscation and a lack of precision from the front sight. I do not advise the aperture sight. For the Ross, Gewehr M95 90, and Type 99 Arisaka, I strongly advise the 6x scope. You want to maximize your ability to land headshots with these rifles, and greater zoom level strongly assists with that. When it comes to gadgets, the Enfield should get smoke grenades, flare gun, and beacon, as it's primarily a flanking gun. These gadgets do the most in terms of utility in achieving flanks. For the other three rifles, the only change to this suggestion is to change the flare gun for a spotting scope. This allows you to spot groups of infantry and vehicles rapidly, without giving away your position, or giving the enemy a means to mitigate the spotting mechanic, as there is no flare for them to shoot down. It also means that you won't need to be concerned with running out of flares, mitigating your need to find ammo boxes, which would place you at risk of close-range combat more often. When it comes to sidearms, I suggest the M1911 suppressed for the Enfield and Ross, as its damage model allows it to act as a one-shot finisher if you manage to land a hit with the Enfield or Ross in close ranges. It also suits the Enfield's tendency to work best in a flanker's role, with its suppressor and fantastic ammo reliability. For the M95 and Arisaka, my suggested sidearm is split between the P38 and P08. Because of the improved damage of the M95 and Arisaka in closer ranges, these sidearms are able to act as a finisher if you land a shot with the rifles first. They also have good ammo reliability. They both work adequately as emergency close-range weapons and an alternative primary with their overall balanced traits. It ultimately depends on if you want a pistol that has a faster draw and lower recoil like the P38, meaning it leans more on the emergency reactive use, or if you are willing to sacrifice those traits for a massive boost in bullet velocity and significantly faster tactical reload speed, making the P08 lean more towards the alternative primary role. For melee weapons, the Enfield and Ross should get a knife. This both meshes well with the close-range damage model of these rifles and the sidearm I suggest for them, and enables you significantly better assassination angles, useful for fleshing out the flanking role these rifles fill. For the M95 and Arisaka, the knife is still a okay choice, as you will similarly gain a one-hit finisher and melee range. However, a hand tool ultimately works better in conjunction with the sidearms I suggest for them, and the hand tool is also a moderately better face-to-face melee weapon than the knife due to its better damage output. For the upgrade trees, for the Ross, M95, and Arisaka, I suggest left, right, left, resulting in quick aim, slings and swivels, machined bolt, and bayonet. Quick aim helps mitigate the significant time it takes to scope in, as I suggest scopes for these weapons. Reducing the scope in time is far more statistically significant than a reload speed increase, and is a more important stat than reload speed overall, as you will be keeping your distance, making the risk of being jumped during a reload less frequent. This also allows you to stay unscoped more often, improving your situational awareness and minimizing the amount of time your targets have to notice your scope glint. Slings and swivels provides you a faster draw in emergencies where you will need to bring up your rifle faster from a sprint, which is an increased risk since you should be sprinting to obtain flanks with bolt actions. It also allows you to retrieve your sidearm a tad faster as well, a similarly useful thing in emergency close-range situations. Machine bolt is all around an important stat boost for more aggressive-oriented bolt actions, as you should be generally more actively supportive. You will want to be able to rack up as many headshots as quickly as possible to support your team's efforts in taking a point, and bayonet in particular is a good way to rush single enemies in close ranges, mitigating the risks of dying in a face-to-face confrontation due to these rifles' poor time to kill with body shots. It also can help get you to a capture point, cover, or flank faster with a super sprint that comes with it. For the Enfield, I suggest the same setup, but switch out quick aim for quick reload. The weapon's playstyle uniquely fits iron sights more than any other bolt action, and iron sights already have a fairly fast aim speed. And since you will be flanking more often, and hopefully taking out larger amounts of enemies on your own with its larger magazine, a faster reload has more utility. In terms of tactics, use the Enfield in conjunction with the spawn beacon to gain flanks and headshot rear-facing groups of enemies. The weapon's faster firing rate is not fast enough to make it competitive face-to-face, but the comparatively faster bolt action can make it a good weapon to take down large groups of unaware targets with flanking and headshots. The 10 rounds in a magazine further improves its ability to get more kills with flanking once you actually achieve them. For the Ross, M95, and Arisaka, the advised strategy is fairly conventional sniper tactics. You generally can effectively act as both a supporting marksman for clearing a point of threats, as well as a mobile spawn point for your team and squad by taking up a sniper nest near a hostile point, preferably near the point your squad leader has placed orders on. You can act as a fairly effective long-range defender as well, like the Krag and Kar-98, but these rifles are more dynamic than those, and favor more aggression due to their relatively brisk bolt action and slower bullet velocities. The Ross's main benefit is its slightly faster than average firing rate, allowing slightly more aggressive shooting when things get heated, though it does suffer from slower reloads than the M95 and Arisaka with the scope attached, as it only gets individual bullet reloads as a result. The Arisaka reloads individual bullets faster and can still use stripper clips when empty even with a scope, and similarly the M95 can still do its fairly fast block reload when empty even with a scope. The M95 and Arisaka are statistically almost exactly the same. The differences is reload speeds. The Arisaka technically has overall faster tactical reloads when topping off the magazine after 1 or 2 shots. If you like to reload after every 1 or 2 kills, the Arisaka is the better choice. If you tend to wait until the last minute, however, the M95 achieves the fastest reloads once you have 1 shot remaining or are empty. The Arisaka strategy is technically less aggressive as you will have more overall downtime, but permits you to consistently have a full magazine, which can provide some improved survivability and ammo conservation at the cost of aggression, while the M95 favors more aggressive shooting and rewards you with much less downtime. But since you generally need to wait until the weapon is empty or near empty to reload to actually achieve those faster reloads, the downtime becomes less predictable and thus slightly higher risk once it actually comes. In conclusion, if you want to snipe but generally work to take points and play aggressively, or you simply enjoy popping heads behind enemy lines, these are the bolt action rifles for you. They offer bold, tactical opportunities rather than only lean entirely on long shots. Thank you for watching my video to the end. Please like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications.